Hello everyone and welcome back to another Kaeya Main Chronicles video.
I didn't know you
We're
were
going to
such a
continue where we
slacker.
last left off, which was, well, we're gonna go help Navia find out, because we have three possible suspects. So we're gonna go over them and I guess interview them now or something and try to figure out which one out of the three is the one selling the synth. I think it's called synth, yeah, synth. And also betrayed Navia's father, leading to his death. Or, well, he was gonna die anyways, but leading to his name to be besmirched. Anyways, we need to just get rid of the drug. Either way. So our first one is over here, Jock. We're gonna visit Jock's family, and I don't know what we're gonna do. But we're gonna do something.
It is settled then. Please excuse me and enjoy your conversation at your leisure.
Thank you for arranging everything for us, Malus.
Excuse me, miss. Do you need anything from us?
Oh, we do have the thing here, the case file. Remember, we are building up a case to defend,
Hey,
I guess, Navia's father?
Navia's all quiet. This isn't like her at all.
Let's not bother her for now.
I'm sorry that I only came to visit after all this time. After what happened, I didn't know how I was supposed to face the two of you.
Ah, if it's about that, there's no need to apologize. After my husband died, Spina di Rosula sent us a lot of mora and support. I understood your guilt and apology to be genuine.
But aren't all of those things nothing compared to the loss of Jacques?
Oh, Jacques is dead. Never mind. Jacques dead. He's 6 feet
I
under.
can understand the kind of pain that comes with losing a father so needlessly.
You don't understand at all.
Girl, my
I
father
didn't
got
know how
killed.
to face you.
I
Because
saw
didn't know what I could
literally my
possibly
father die
bring
right in
as a
front of me.
consolation gift. I know only the full truth could bring closure to you. And to all of us.
Oh, we're gonna. Oh, Jacques. That's right. Jacques was the friend that.
I'm sorry. I appreciate the sentiment, but you don't have to carry all that guilt. On the matter regarding my husband, my daughter and I have more or less found our answer already.
Would you mind sharing it with me? I really can't believe that my father could ever bring himself to shoot Jacques.
I always knew that my husband's money was earned through others' suffering. He told me countless times that if he could turn back the clock, he would never go into the synth business again.
Okay, so I was right. It is synth.
He had many regrets, and felt that he took the idea of providing for his family too literally. For the longest time, he thought Mora was everything. So when Mr. Callis came to him with a proposal, he accepted it almost immediately. He tried to be as careful as he could, but even so, he was still found out by the higher-ups.
They found out about his betrayal?
Papa didn't say that exactly, but Papa did tell me that I should never be ungrateful.
Before he left that
Meanwhile,
day,
you before.
he told
How
me that he
dare
had
you?
no
You don't know
choice.
how it feels.
It was only later that I realized it was his final farewell to the two of us.
Someone ordered Jacques to take out Callus.
I don't know that for sure, but you could say that's the conclusion I eventually came to. Which is why I'm the one who should feel guilty. Callus had always taken great care of us, both when he was still alive and after he passed away. Even if he fired the shot that killed my husband, it was likely in self-defense. It is impossible for me to hate him for what he had done.
But Mama, why is Papa still the bad guy if he did the right thing? Papa always wanted to be a good man, so why did he have to do a bad thing in the end?
Well, things aren't always as they seem. You still feel like your papa was a good man, right?
Yeah, Papa was a really good man. The best in the whole world.
Then you should hold on to that. If a good man had to do a bad thing, then he must have had his reasons. Regardless of whether he left you a parasol or a sword. He must have done so to give
Well,
you a better
I
life.
wasn't really left anything, but
Oh.
okay.
Thank you for everything you've told me. I will definitely find the truth. The current state of things is not something I'm willing to just sit back and accept.
Thank you. I'm very grateful to hear this from you. Even though your personality is quite different from your father's, your determination when you speak is really similar.
You really think so? That's the first time anyone said that to me.
Alright, so we got a testimony from them. I forgot we're building up a case file. Alright, now we're gonna talk to
Are
Florent.
you okay, Navia?
I'm fine. Don't worry. Let's investigate the 3 suspects next.
Alright,
Florent
now we
should be
finally
nearby,
investigate them.
And we should be able to find Thierry and Uncle Marcel in the city. I'll get myself together on the way. So please don't worry.
Is that a dog? Is that a little pupper? Oh, I want to see the dog. The dog has disappeared.
Greetings, boss. How may I be of assistance today?
I'm sure you've heard about what happened at the Opera House. Someone got turned into water right in front of us.
Yeah, I've heard. With something that dramatic, I'm sure journalists will milk it for all it's worth. And it'll be all the talk for the next several weeks.
It also reminded me, on the day that the incident happened with my father, it was raining outside, and we found some clothes left at the scene. After my partner here put the dots together for me, I feel like we should try to reopen his case. Can you do me a favor and try to recall what happened that night?
Let me think. Mr. Callis was feeling pretty upbeat that day. So he was drinking and bantering away with us at the table. After that, he told us that he wanted to go get some fresh air. So we let him go without thinking much of it. Who knew that we would hear 2 gunshots ring out right after? My first reaction was that Mr. Callis's life was in danger. So I grabbed my holster and made a mad dash toward the scene. But when I got there, it was already too late. Mr. Callis was standing over a dead body with a gun in his hands. All we could do was look back and forth at each other, not knowing what to say.
So you also remember 2 gunshots then?
Indeed. The guard said that the first shot didn't hit anyone, while the second killed Jacques. But I've never really bought that explanation. Reason being, Mr. Callis had left his gun on the table. I even made sure to confirm that before running to the scene. But according to the guards, that doesn't mean he couldn't have had other guns on his person. About the clothes left at the scene that you mentioned. Do you think there was a third person there who was turned into water?
It's very possible.
At least from our perspective, my father had no reason to kill. So he would also have no reason to bring an extra gun with him. The gun he was holding probably belonged to Jacques, or a third person on the scene.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So you're saying Mr. Callis ended up with the gun because he seized it from one of the other guys? But hold on. If that's what had happened, then why didn't he share the truth with any of us? He didn't even want to face the Oratrice machine, and chose instead to prove his honor in a duel. Did he lose all faith in the courts after seeing someone dissolve right in front of his eyes?
It's probably hard to prove that someone, like,
About
just
that.
disappeared.
Malus told me a thing or two. So, I think I can understand why he committed to the duel. I'll tell you everything once the whole truth has been revealed.
I understand. Then I'll leave Mr. Callis's honor in your hands, boss. And if I may just say one more thing. The whole Callis the Unfaithful epithet has been a thorn in my side since the day it was invented. Many people have laughed at me for still calling him Mr. Callis, even after so many years have passed. But it was Mr. Callis's trust that allowed me to rise through the ranks of Spina di Rosula and live the life I lead today, no matter what others might say. He'll always be the man I respect the most. And he'll always be my boss.
Don't worry. I will definitely find the truth. You and all our other comrades at the Spina deserve to know the truth as well. Hey, Thierry! It's me!
Oh, now, what brings you here, Miss Navia? I've heard that you made quite the name for yourself at the Opera House.
Oh, so you've got news of that already.
Oh, okay. Hey, I'm also a member of the Guards, you know. The way you make it sound, people would think I was sent off to Poisson because I had done something wrong.
Every time they say
Are you
poisson,
sure
I
there
keep thinking
isn't
of
a little bit of
croissant.
truth in that? Under normal circumstances, shouldn't you have been called back to the city already?
I mean, where I work is really up to me. Let's just say I enjoy the ambiance of Poisson. Callis did a fantastic job running the town, building Spina di Rasula from the ground up and clearing many obstructions in my way. It would be next to impossible for me to find a similarly easy but high-paying job in the city. Anyway, enough chit-chat. Are these two friends of yours? You, here for some formal business?
Ah, yes. These two are my partners.
Hello.
What happened at the Opera House made us realize that Linny's case and my father's may be related. We're trying to reinvestigate the details of my father's old case.
Ah, I get it. You think there might be more to the case now that we know people can be dissolved into water, right? I was also flabbergasted when I first heard of it. If you want to go through the original files from your father's case, I can help you look for them.
That'd be much appreciated. Thank you. Actually, I have another question. Do you have the authority to dispatch Gardamex?
Of course. Without them, I couldn't possibly handle Poisson on my own. Why do you ask? We definitely can't use them to forcefully get more evidence for your father's case.
Well, you see, just recently, we were attacked by a horde of unnumbered Gardamex in the city. So, if you hypothetically wanted to do something against me, all you would need to do is get rid of the mecha serial numbers and send them after me.
Then you think too highly of my abilities. Dispatching mecha is very different from controlling them. If I had to make an analogy, when you order a dish, the chef will make it for you. You can ask the chef to cook, but not to massage your shoulders or carry your baggage. If you try to make unreasonable demands, the chef would just think you're out of your mind and ignore you completely. The same goes for me and my Gardamex.
So the person who sent out the
Removing
Gardamex
serial number is also
have-
not as easy as you might think. There are a lot of complex steps to it, and it's almost impossible to keep it a secret. So I can promise you, those mecha were definitely private units.
So someone who made their
They're
own
certainly
Gardamex
not
and everything
cheap. So
sent them out
whoever
and
their
probably
owner
have
is
their own
must
auras, because
be
the original
super
Artemex,
rich, powerful,
oh my gosh,
both.
Artemex probably
Now that you
have their
mention it,
own
though,
protocols where it's like, you
owning a
know, not
synth
to hurt
business would
someone or not to hurt
definitely be
this or,
profitable enough
you
to
know,
afford
just to do
this.
this. So that's what I was thinking. So I'm like, it's weird. They would be like rogue. They have to have some programming. So the programming might be that, you know, whatever I say, like, you know, if I tell you to attack this person, you have to listen, and it's in the programming. Because the Gardamex mostly just watch over people, so their main probably their main thing to do that's computed in them is to protect the citizens, not to harm any citizens. So going and attacking Navia and Traveler would go against their pre-installed, right? Protocol. So again, it's leading to someone who has to be rich, wants us dead, and rich. Makes sense.
Oh, then you're officially in the clear, Thierry.
One suspect off.
Oh, well, thank you for the vote of confidence, Navia. Jokes aside, I'd like to wish you all the best with your investigation. I'll be staying in the city for a little while, so just come find me if you need any support from the guards.
Information regarding Thierry. Next one is Marcel.
What's the hurry?
Hello. How may I help you?
I'm here to see Marcel. Could you please let him know? You can just say Navia's looking for him.
Sure. I will let him know right away.
Navia, hello. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm not as young as I used to be, so my legs are giving out a bit.
Oh, it's all right, Uncle Marcel. There's no need to stress. I just wanted to talk to you briefly about what happened in the Opera House. I'm sure you saw everything too, right?
Yes, I've never seen anything so strange.
Oh, you were at the Opera House too?
That's right. I went there with Navia to see the magic show. Who knew it would turn into a whole murder mystery? I also witnessed your marvelous sleuthing work. Quite impressive. To beat the Hydro
Yes,
Archon
I
at her
good
own
sleuth.
game on her own turf, I can already imagine everyone in Fontaine discussing your exploits over a few glasses of wine.
Oh, Paimon doesn't want to become the talk of drunkards.
Apologies. It's just how Fontaine is as a nation. Everyone loves drama and theatrics.
It's the most favorite
Uncle
thing
Marcel,
ever in this
You
nation.
also noticed that other thing, right? The fact that humans can dissolve in water?
Yes, I was reminded of your father's case right away. Is that what you're investigating now?
Exactly. I still don't have much solid proof, but I can sense that the other side has already begun to act.
Oh, and what makes you say that?
We were attacked on Araneus by some unnumbered Gardamex. And there was also an attempt to get me to drink water from the primordial sea.
If not for the vigilance of my partner, I probably wouldn't even be here talking to you right now.
Oh, you're giving us too much credit.
Oh, really? You're giving her too much credit. She just accidentally took your drink.
Alas, it seems things are heating up again. The peace that Callus sought so dearly will soon become a thing of the past. But rest assured, Navia, Poisson will always remain a safe haven for you. If you're scared, you can always return there. If anyone dares to lay their hands on you there, the Confrérie of Cabrières will use its funds to the last Mora to bring them to justice.
Thank you, Uncle Marcel. But I don't intend to go into hiding. I'm going to strike while the iron's hot. Do you have any new thoughts on my father's case?
I just see the sharply dressed poodle in the background.
About that. Sorry, my age is catching up with me, so it'll take me a while to recall my memory. The Confrérie was responsible for that banquet, so I was out and about the whole time making sure things were running smoothly. I didn't even have the time to drink with the guests. Then I heard the sound of a gunshot, and the rest was history.
Oh, it's okay. No need to push yourself. We'll ask around some more, see if there are any valuable clues elsewhere.
Sounds good. Just let me know if you ever need Mora. All my wealth comes from Callus's patronage and support. I'll spend however much it takes to clear his name.
Treat them as new samples.
Dang it, I should have gone up the stairs instead of climbing.
Talked to all three suspects, purely based on their conversations with me.
None of them sounded particularly suspicious.
Yeah, none of them really stood out as a suspect.
I suppose that's to be expected, though. If a single conversation's all that's needed to find them out, then my father wouldn't have needed to investigate the case for so many years. Anyway, even though we didn't make a breakthrough, let's still compile what we were able to find.
But
I think I just hit into something. I keep accidentally bumping into things because of my space. Not the biggest, not the smallest, but I just keep bumping into things because I'm kind of clumsy. Alright. Jacques' motive.
Ah, you're right! Flora mentioned that Callus probably only ended up with the gun because of circumstance. That makes sense.
According to Jacques' family members, he already told them that he had been discovered, and that he had no choice before he left home that day. If I had to guess, he probably received an order from the synth boss to kill my father. Had he refused, he and his family's lives would have been forfeit.
So, Jacques fired the first shot?
I was Jacques. I wouldn't have fired the first shot. I would have fired a shot at all.
Oh? And why is that?
Could he guarantee his family's safety after killing Callus?
Ooh, that's a good point. Jacques probably already knew that he was just being used as a tool for murder. And once he had completed his mission, he'd be of no more use to his boss.
So, what would make more sense from his perspective would be to turn his back on the order and seek protection from my father.
Seems the third person was the one who derailed everything.
Makes sense. But without evidence, that's still just a theory.
Again. I shouldn't have gotten that loud.
The attack from the Gardamex has been bothering me quite a bit as well. It's obvious that our enemy has become more antsy after the secret of the primordial seawater was revealed.
Do you think he knew, even then, that we'd follow this lead to the end?
Given everything that's happened since, it's quite possible. But who among the three suspects would have the ability to control privately owned Gardamex?
Well, it had to be someone rich. It can't be Thierry because they already gave a reasoning. Marcel is the only one who's got a lot of money.
Uncle Marcel? My father did really trust him. And they worked together on a large number of projects. Maybe that's how he got to know Jacques. And with funds from the Confrérie, he could also afford a large number of Gardamex. It's still really hard for me to imagine, though. After all, Uncle Marcel has been around since I was just a child. Also, wouldn't this mean he has been spending a whole lot of mora and energy to fight his own synth business?
Maybe it was someone else. I don't know, Florent, because I don't know about Thierry. I mean, Thierry, but then that could be, I don't know. I'm gonna keep guessing.
It is true that he was closest to my father, and thus had the best chance of learning about his dealings with Jacques. But as Spina di Rosula's advisor,
Oh, I forgot Navia's gonna be a Geo character. Well, that means I have to pull for Navia no matter what, so I can keep up with my whole track record of having every Geo character.
He's too broke to afford a mecha army?
Exactly. He can't. And even if he could, I don't think he would be able to dispatch a whole group so quickly.
Maybe it was someone else. Alright, Thierry.
Thierry, you say?
Thierry's the last one.
Huh.
We don't have anyone else
It is
other than
possible that
Thierry.
He's figured out a way to convert the Gardamex for personal use. But I didn't feel like he was lying when he was talking to us about the mecha.
Okay, so it's
I
none of
also
them.
don't
Damn,
think
girl,
he'd
what
be
do you
able to
want?
keep that kind of tampering under wraps.
Yeah, had he actually tampered with the mecha, we'd be able to prove it with a simple check of the guard's inventory. If the mecha were taken from the guards, it should be pretty easy to find out when and how that happened.
Who could it be?
I don't know. We already went over the 3. I think. Oh, these are the I don't know. Maybe Marcel. I just don't know.
You know, if you think everything through, Uncle Marcel is indeed the most suspicious of them all.
Was I actually right?
Could we be missing other suspects? Malus didn't know about the people turning into water thing when he narrowed it down to these 3, did he?
Malus has always been very reliable, and his judgment of others' trustworthiness has been fair.
Harry
and
and Florent had no idea that connecting it together. Only until after we mentioned it, they're like, oh. But Marcel was the only one who said, oh yeah, hearing that made me think of your father's case. He was the only one that said it out of the 3 of them.
The suspect is knowledgeable about the Spina's internal affairs, has the means to dispatch Mecha to assassinate us, and possesses significant intellect and foresight. Even if I don't want to believe it, I'm starting to see how things could all tie back to Uncle Marcel.
He is someone who's very close to you after all.
Well, we still have another trump card on top of all the theorizing and speculating.
The synth production base.
Yes, Malus did say that charging straight in there would be extremely risky, but we don't have any other options right now. We need far more solid proof before we can hope to go charging in on our enemy.
Navia, here you are.
Hey, Thierry.
I've been looking for you.
Uh-oh.
Huh?
That's
Aren't
not
you
a good
guys from the
sign.
guards? Did something happen?
Yeah. News came from Irenaeus just after you left. We've got another trial on our hands.
Wasn't that place built specifically for holding trials? What's so newsworthy about this one?
I know. But they said the person they're putting on trial is a Fatui harbinger called Tartaglia.
Wait, Childe? Childe, the ginger?
What? Is that someone you know?
Yeah, we know him. Maybe even a little too well.
Well, he's been accused of being the true culprit behind the serial disappearances case.
Wow.
It's absurd, don't you think?
I mean, yeah, he had no plans of doing anything
None of
like
our
that.
Investigations have had anything to do with him.
That's what I thought was strange about it, so I came to tell you the news right away. If the charge against him stands, then it'll be next to impossible to get the guards to support any of our planned investigations.
Right, because they'll think they've already found the culprit.
Yeah, and it'll be a lot harder then to clear Mr. Callus's name.
I understand. Well, partner, what do you think we should do? We still haven't found
Drag
any
Child out and
conclusive
be like,
evidence.
hey, we told you not to start any problems. Get out now. Let's split up.
Huh? Split up? What do you mean?
You can go to the Irenaeus while I go investigate that place.
Just as expected of my partner. Since this is a trial about the serial disappearances case, The culprit's attention will be focused on Arrhenius, leaving his home
Irenaeus.
base
Okay, you know, I didn't
open.
say it that bad.
You're right. This is our best opportunity. All right then, let's do this. I'll stall them at the Opera House and charge Marcel as the true culprit. I won't have any chance of making that charge stick though, unless we find
Child
more
of trial
evidence.
being like,
It'll be
bro,
up
I
to
don't
you
have
to make
any
it back in
attorney.
time and
How am I
hand
supposed to
the decisive
defend
evidence
myself?
to me.
Can I call someone from Leeway? He should be able to help. He knows about everything. No. But then this is the other. Would they fight? Can I call some? Can I make one phone call? Written message by Bird. Can I get someone? Leave it to me.
We'll help you, just like you helped us in Linny's trial.
Demoiselle, please allow us to accompany you.
I'm
Oh, Malus and Silver again.
Ah, Malou, Silver. When did you two get here?
We heard that you'll be leaving Poisson and figured that you might require our
My
assistance.
brain keeps auto-correcting
It's
poisson
our
as
hope that
croissant.
Your confidence will be bolstered with the two of us by your side.
Thank you so much. Then, let's make haste for Arrhenius. Paimon, Traveler, I'll see you at the Opera House.
Oh yay, another trial. Da 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 da. Oh wait, we going to Opera House now? I am not ready for a 3-hour session of being in the Opera House.
Now that Navia has set out for Arrhenius, we should also get going. The location has already been marked on the map, so let's head over. Huh. According to Malus's info, the synth production base is underwater. Let's go and try to find the entrance.
Wait a second. I can just teleport closer, can I? Well, a little bit closer. We're gonna go in this base, get evidence, fight things, and then get back out. It's literally right over here.
Finally found it! Huh. So this is the entrance that leads to the synth production base. It sure doesn't seem out of the ordinary at all.
Well, they don't want it to stand out. I mean, the
You're
more it
right.
stands out, the easier it is to
Endpoint
find
things
out
like
about the
this is
synth
bound to have
operations.
A ton of protective measures and mechanisms. Navia's probably arguing up a storm right now to stall for us.
My client cannot be. Oh, we'll get to see. My client cannot be guilty. Have you seen him? He can't hurt a fly.
It would appear that I must repeat my question again, Mr. Tartaglia.
Oh my god, great. I get
Do
to
you
see him
accept the
beefing.
charge that you are the true culprit behind the serial disappearances case?
Why does he look so funny from far
To be
away
perfectly
there?
honest, I don't understand your country's complicated court system, or the reason why I'm being charged with something I've never even heard of. However, I did hear that people who have been charged can choose to participate in a duel to clear their name. Is that right?
Oh, that's right. You
In
gave
which
this maniac a
case,
duel.
As long as I accept the charge, I can have an all-out fight with that champion duelist Clorend, right?
So you can already tell that he's not
I've
the
gotta
culprit
admit,
because he literally
that's
wants to
one of the
just
most
fight.
enticing offers I've ever received.
I'm guilty. Can I fight her?
When I privately sparred with her last time, she was obviously holding back. Real disappointing.
Hey, don't you understand? Your
He
currently
doesn't care.
prime
He just
suspect
wants
for
to
a
fight
major
whoever is
case.
strong. He does not
Isn't
give a
the
damn.
place for you to be looking for fights.
Oh? Sounds like the Hydro Archon wants to lecture me on the ways of the Opera House. Then why don't you duel me too? I'm the kind of student that learns best in the heat of battle.
Why are you trying to fight this other Archon now too?
No. That's not what I meant.
Alas, it would appear that communication with the defendant is going poorly, and we have made very little progress.
Your Villette is over here like this kid. This, oh my goodness.
The goal of this trial is to determine the culprit behind the serial disappearances case.
Oh, then I don't care. I want to fight.
To do with him. You've got the wrong man.
Oh, is this my attorney?
What's going on?
Why is she interjecting again?
Oh my gosh, dude.
I told you it couldn't be one of the Fatui harbingers.
Miss Navia, this is the second time you've interrupted the court proceedings.
Your Villette's like, please stop doing that.
I only tolerated your behavior last time because you were able to provide the court with a key eyewitness. But that was an exception rather than standard court protocol. I can very well charge
Well,
you
he
with
doesn't
contempt
even
of
have an
court for your
attorney, and Linny got an
interjections.
attorney.
Oh, please. Did you ever think I had any respect for this place's pointless theatrics? We can put that discussion aside for now. I'm not here to argue with you. I'm here to charge the true culprit behind the serial disappearances case. And if my charge
Who is
proved
it?
true, then Tartaglia here will be proven innocent by default, correct?
Oh, a young lady has charged in and offered to clear my name. How fascinating. Well, I'd gotten half bored to death by all these rules and procedures anyway.
See, this guy can't do anything because he literally does not give a
Your
damn.
Honor, is there nothing else for me to do now?
Can I fight
You may
someone?
take a seat for now in the audience, but that doesn't mean the suspicions against you have been lifted. Now then, Miss Navia.
Are you sure he's the culprit?
Who
He
is the
literally
person
does
you would
not
like to charge
care.
Instead?
That person is...
Marcel. We already said it's Marcel.
Marcel, the head of Confrérie of Cabrières.
Ooh.
What confrérie? Never heard of them in my life.
I've heard of them, but weren't they Spina di Rosula's sister organization?
Oh, is this going to be a friends to enemies type situation?
Please
Friends
let me
to
remind
enemies?
you,
What
Miss
is this,
Navia,
a Wattpad
that charging
fanfic?
someone
What
an
is going
incredibly
on?
serious matter. Committing
Or
to
what?
the
No, that'd
charge
be enemies to
also means
lovers.
taking on
Ah,
the
same
legal
difference.
responsibilities associated with it. And if the charge fails, depending on the circumstances, you may also be charged with the crime of making a false accusation. Knowing this, do you still wish to charge this man?
Yes.
Yes, I do.
In that case, I declare the charge to be valid. Miss Navia and attorneys, please take your places on the court.
See, how come Child had no attorney?
Members of the guards, please contact
Won't
Mr.
that
Marcel
already
right away
be
so that
like-
he may stand trial.
You know, like invalid?
Mr. Marcel, you will not require an attorney. Is that correct?
Oh, you can ask for an attorney or
Apologies.
not.
It all just happened so quickly. I still
The
haven't
child
figured
probably
out
said
what's
no.
going
He's
on.
like, I don't want to deal with all this
I think an
stuff.
attorney won't be
Can I
necessary.
fight?
This is probably
Can
just
I
a
fight?
misunderstanding between me and
Can I
Navia.
fight?
Very well. In that case, since both sides have now arrived, Miss Navia, please present your charges.
I would like to take everyone back to 3 years ago, to the case of Callus the Unfaithful. Only through elucidating what really happened in that case can we connect all the dots for the serial disappearances case.
Navia, do you really think that I was the one who killed your father? Come on, why would I do
Technically,
that?
you killed the
Callus
other
was my
guy.
benefactor.
Technically, you killed
I
Jock
remember
that
both you
led
and
my
I
father
only
to
ran
die
to the scene
earlier,
when we
so.
heard the sound of a gun.
Or Navia's father to die
If that's
earlier.
enough to make me a suspect, wouldn't that make everyone at that banquet a suspect as well?
I think there's no point in getting into the specifics right now. The audience doesn't even have the big picture yet. Even I'm struggling to remember some details of that case.
AKA go over everything that
Exactly correct,
happened.
Your Honor. I must refresh everyone's memory about that case before I can explain my charge and reasoning.
I see. In which case, I will recount the findings about that case as originally recorded by Maison Gardiennage.
Okay then. That's Oh, we're Navia.
On the day of the murder, Spina di Rosula hosted a large banquet in a countryside estate owned by the Confrérie of Cabriere.
Oh my god, we're doing a whole case trial, aren't we?
During the banquet, all attending guests heard 2 gunshots from the courtyard. When the guests arrived at the scene, they found the primary suspect, Callus, holding a gun, while his acquaintance, Jacques, lay dead from a gunshot wound. The guards' investigation did not recover any other firearms from the scene. As a result, they concluded that the suspect's first shot must have missed, while the second must have taken Jacques' life. The suspect did not dispute this conclusion, and also declined to defend himself in court. Instead, he chose to prove his innocence through a duel. Callus was defeated by champion duelist Clarande in the ensuing duel, and soon succumbed to the injuries. These are the known facts about the case.
The one with the motive to kill was Jacques, not my father. And even so, Jacques still had no reason to pull the trigger. In truth, the third person shot Jacques first, and was shot in turn by my father when my father seized the gun from him. After that, the true culprit turned the third person into water, erasing all traces of him from the scene.
Thank you for the summary, Your Honor. Of course, the guard's conclusion appeared quite sensible to us at the time. However, we should revisit the case now that we've gained new information about the abilities of water from the primordial sea.
Alright, now it's our turn. So, the banquet on the day of the murder, Spina di Rosula hosted a large banquet in a countryside estate owned by the Confrérie of Cabriere. Alright, I don't know this one because this one is true. They were at the Confrérie of Cabriere. Two gunshots.
Something's not right. Let me think for a little while longer.
Okay, the advisor, never mind.
The testimony of the victim's family confirms that Jacques had thoughts of assassinating Callus when he set out for the banquet. However, unfortunately for
I
Jacques,
skipped over.
the true culprit had already considered this possibility and had sent out another assassin.
Scene of the crime. The guests arrived, there was a gun, but he didn't have a gun, right? Okay, never mind then. I'm sorry, I didn't completely read. After conducting a reinvestigation, it is now certain that Callus did not bring a gun with him. Moreover, detail of the case point towards a possible case of third person. Oh, the clothes.
This assassin first shot Jacques, then turned to shoot Callus, only for Callus to wrestle the gun from him and kill him instead.
There was reconstruction of events. As a result, they concluded that the suspect's first shot must have missed, while the second must have taken Jacques' life. This deduction is based on the circumstances where there is no third person on this. But the water.
A pile of clothing was found at the scene. The guards once believed they were used by Jacques as a costume to disguise himself. But now, it is clear that the clothes were proof that there was a third person at the scene, and that they were turned into water after committing the murder. Since it was raining that day, the culprit was confident that they could use the rain to wash away all traces of their dissolved accomplice. Realizing this, the true culprit caused the hired assassin to dissolve into water, leading everyone to believe Callus was responsible for Jacques' murder. This is the true version of events.
that's what happened. Wait, you're telling me something as dangerous as water from the primordial sea has been used for all these years?
Yep.
What a great theory. It also explains Callus's and Jacques' respective motives. I guess they didn't shoot each other after all.
Mr. Marcel, you are the one being charged with the crime. You should provide a rebuttal if you wish to prove your innocence.
Ah, but I think I agree with everything Navia just said. In fact, there was nothing in her speech that directly implicated me.
That's true.
Then, may I ask some questions? In my opinion, we primarily need to determine two things. One, do you have the evidence to back up your claims?
I'm afraid not. At least not at this very moment.
Boo! If you don't have any evidence, you should just go home.
Girl, would you shut
I
up?
may not have the evidence with me, but I know where I could go to collect it. If we look up the deserted clothes against a record of people who went missing around the same time, we should be able to find a match. Considering the serial disappearances case, the guards probably kept careful records of all missing persons from around that time, regardless of age or gender.
That makes sense to me. Monsieur Neuvillette, I would consider this to be a reasonable investigative direction.
Why do I feel like Farina's acting a little differently today?
Maybe she's scared of embarrassing herself again?
Alternatively, she's become more diligent after charging an innocent citizen in the last trial.
It doesn't want to happen again.
My second question has to do with the ensuing duel. If the truth is indeed as you described, then why didn't Mr. Callus explain himself in court? If he had testified that a person had been dissolved, he could have at least mounted a defense.
I've thought about this too, and the answer is actually pretty simple. He felt there were things that were more important to him. The dissolving power of water from the primordial sea is an important secret for the true culprit of the serial disappearances case. My father could have exposed it for all to see, but he chose to take it to the grave. At that time, Spina di Rosula was in dire straits, and his reputation had already been shattered. He had no guarantee that going forward with the truth would allow the culprit to be brought to justice. What was certain, however, was that it would paint a gigantic target on my back.
Boss once told me that Demoiselle had already been selected as the next target of the serial disappearances case.
What?
If the secret had gotten out, the culprit would have fought an all-out war with Espina right there and then. I wouldn't have been the only one in danger. All of us would have stood to lose our lives. Of course, the guards might eventually figure out the truth of the matter and determine that we were in the right. But what good would that do? How can a hollow verdict protect anyone? Had this opera house ever given my father any kind of confidence in its brand of justice, Spina di Rosula would have had no reason to exist.
Dang.
By staying silent, we retain the ability to deter our opponents and continue the stalemate. I was able to become Spina di Rosula's president, which made me harder to target, as well as giving me more time to grow and learn.
In order for her to figure out the case.
And stepped up to the challenge, I will do what this opera house cannot, and restore my father's truth and honor back to him.
So, you mean to say, your father intended to die in the duelist's ring?
Yes.
That's right.
Do you have any proof?
Of course. All you need is to ask his opponent, Clorand.
Hey, Clorand.
I don't need your apology, your guilt, or your support from the shadows. You don't have to do anything for my sake. But since he entrusted his will to you, Clorand, you should tell us the truth about his sacrifice.
So, during the duel, did you believe that Callus was intending to die?
Yes, I did. As a champion duelist, I've fought many battles and taken a countless number of dishonored lives. In my line of work, I've seen all kinds of people give their all for the faintest hope to continue living. Some were determined, others passionate, and some even manic and twisted. Just one look and I can tell if a duelist is hoping to live or if they're looking to die. I hereby swear on my name and honor as a champion duelist that Mr. Callus never intended to leave the ring alive.
Since that's your testimony, I have no more questions. It appears there really are good grounds to reopen this case.
I concur. However, Miss Navia, you still have not explained the link between your father's case and the serial disappearances case.
Right? What she said was fascinating, but kind of beside the point.
Wait, weren't they just talking about the serial disappearances case?
Of course, Your Honor. The two cases are connected via a matter of timing. In my father's case, the culprit intended to kill both Jacques and Callus. As a result, they planned to act after hearing 2 gunshots. And at the end of Linny's trial, the culprit also only dissolved the victim in front of everyone because they realized they were at risk of being identified. The culprit could only time their actions so precisely if they were already at the scene. Coincidentally, Marcel attended both the banquet and the trial.
So that's why you suspected me. Even after hearing your reasoning, I still can't help but find it a little preposterous. I'm used to it, though. You've always been an impulsive and sentimental child, Navia. It's one of your most endearing traits.
No need to appeal to pathos.
I won't try to refute your points one by one, but even if everything you just said was true, can you prove that I was the only person present at both events? On top of that, does a person have to be physically present to control the timing? Can't someone remotely monitor the place?
Oof, don't know what she can say to that.
I know that even with that, you might still think you can reduce the list of suspects with some further investigations, until I'm the only one left on the list. Alas, who won't feel at least a little hurt by an accusation of murder from a girl you see as your own daughter?
Ooh, he pulled out
And if I
that
were to
card.
dismiss this completely, you'd also think I'm not being considerate of your feelings. Ah well, let Uncle Marcel teach you another lesson. Do you know what the biggest flaw in your reasoning is?
I suppose you're gonna tell me anyways.
Just say it.
Timing again. I'm a businessman by trade. From that standpoint, there's no reason for me to kidnap young women. It's a high-risk action with nothing to gain. In addition, I left my home in Snezhnaya when I was young to come to Poisson and work in some
Child
trade.
in the crowds.
My business
Hey,
only
you're from
thrived when I
Snezhnaya,
received
so am
Callus'
I.
patronage.
Hey.
But
You're
the
actually your own
disappearances
child instead
began
of me,
before
so
I ever stepped foot in Fontaine.
I lucked out with that.
I do apologize, demoiselle. This was my mistake.
No, it's not your fault. I'm sure he had come prepared.
Is there anything else you'd like to say? Would you like to check the date of my first business license?
Alright, when is Traveler gonna bust in and be like, hey, we got some more evidence?
You can also take a look
Why are
at
we
my
in
border
trial?
entry
I want to
record,
be fighting
or
at
ask
least.
my friends and family when I left Snezhnaya for the first time. Could those records and testimonies do something to appease the unspeakable anguish in your heart?
Seems like she got the wrong guy.
At this rate, Navia will be convicted for falsely accusing him.
I think you've done a superb job of dissecting your father's feelings as he neared the end of his life. But aren't you going against all of his wishes and expectations right now? He wished for you to become more rational, collected, and conscientious, instead of dwelling only on your own feelings. Once you've learned to be more considerate of others' feelings, and to stop rushing headlong into things, you'd have met most of his expectations.
This isn't just about me, and it never has been. The biggest difference between me and the rest of the victims is that I still have the ability to search for the truth, while that same agency has long been taken from them. The people whose families were destroyed by synth abuse, the people who lost their loved ones to the serial disappearances, and the people who suffered tragic ends due to their sense of justice. Many people's images are flashing before my eyes. I'm sure some are coming to those of you in the audience as well. And whose image do you see, Marcel? Is it a man named Vacher?
Huh.
Oh.
So you do know that name?
I'm merely surprised you'd suddenly say the name of someone I've never even heard of.
No. You reacted to it. You reacted to it.
For you to say that.
A little while earlier, at the entrance of to the synth production base. I English real well. Finally, we're inside. No chest? Alright, I'll head my way up. Oh, I can change my party setup. No, I'll be fine.
Stabilize.
Hello.
Burst forth.
It's so nice to meet all of you guys again. Yeah, whatever. Hit me with whatever you got. Oh, you're the ones that are throwing that thing. Okay. Where the hell did you go?
Whoa! The floor is going up!
Albedo, how was your thing? Oh, never mind.
Is it because of this mechanism in the middle?
I thought Albedo's thing was going up.
Prepared a lot of stuff for this place. Paimon thinks we need to go up, but Paimon doesn't see a way. Let's take a look around. Maybe we'll find a hidden mechanism that'll show us the way up.
I'm betting it's going to be down here.
The water level is rising. Now we can swim to the top. But this is still a ways away from where we need to go.
Hey, we're making progress at least. Alright, I guess I'll kill the dog first or something.
Freeze.
Rain outlines your
There goes the dog.
fate.
Oh, you guys are Cryo. Alright.
Dodge this.
I don't know why Kaeya didn't hold, but alright.
Freeze.
This guy isn't in the thing, so it's gonna be a little bit harder to kill him. I say that as I kill him easily. Oh, hello, that's you again.
Live.
Rain outlines your fate.
Cool it.
Are you guys just gonna come close to me? Because that makes it killing y'all much easier.
Dodge this.
I was wondering if I was fighting for both or just one.
Now the path is clear. Let's go.
Impressive technology. Actually going under is or swimming makes you go faster. Very impressive technology in using water. I guess I'm gonna have to fight something. Again. And look at that, there's a whole bunch of garden mechs, guarding everything. What a coincidence. I think not.
Stabilize. Burst forth.
I don't think I fought in the shield dude before. Oh, well, no, I have.
Freeze. Cool it. Gather.
The thing is that I have fought in the shield dude, but whoa, Xingqiu, what happened?
Rain outlines your fate.
Dodge this.
What the heck is that?
After all that, we finally made it to the innermost sanctum. Though, as expected, the mastermind isn't here.
If I'm not mistaken, he's being charged by Navia as we speak.
That's right. Then let's hurry up and find some evidence so we can get back to the Opera House and help Navia. Whoa! There's so much synth here! And so many bottles of ingredients that probably just contain the waters of the primordial sea.
There were so many.
Mixing in progress, ready to drink, stock sample? Huh. They've also got all the synth pretty clearly labeled. Whoa, there's even fruit-flavored synth?
Well, that definitely proves that this is where they produce synth.
Yep, it's super obvious. What's this over here? Looks like some kind of place for research. Experiment number 16 aims to verify Jacob Ingold's research conclusions on the primordial sea and use his theory as a foundation to achieve a breakthrough. The experiment was a failure. No individual managed to resurface from the water from the primordial sea. Female specimens 22, 23, and 24 were dissolved.
They ain't gonna kidnap you, Paimon. Calm down, Paimon.
Sorry, Traveler. Paimon will try her best. It's just that Paimon's never read something so scary before. How could someone write something that terrible in such a matter-of-fact tone? You read the rest. Paimon's too scared to keep going.
Is to save his lover, a woman called Vigineer, who was dissolved.
So that's why you did all of these experiments.
I did not say that wrong. Vigineer.
Did he really think he'd be able to find a way just by dissolving people over and over? That's just insane!
There's another name here. Vache.
Huh? Isn't that the name you heard by the fountain? Paimon thought he was an eyewitness in the serial disappearances case.
But all along it was him. He's the researcher.
You mean Vache is the one who did all of these... experiments?
Yes, he signed off on a bunch of the experiment reports.
So that's it! Vache was no victim, but personally took his lover and... No, that's not it either! If that's the case, why would he want people to resurface from the water?
There must be more to this than meets the eye.
In any case, Paimon will write it all down.
Nope. Magical wall.
Oh, look! There's an important looking basin over here, and it's full of water!
That must be the water from the primordial sea.
That means this is where they make all the synth! And that special water is the main ingredient! If you dilute it with normal water, you'll get synth, but the pure stuff can dissolve a human! Paimon will take notes on this incriminating evidence. Let's see what's written here. Nothing escapes Detective Paimon's eyes. Callus. Navia's father. Oh, this seems to be an investigation report on him.
It's probably related to his and Jock's case.
Yep, it's about finding someone to assassinate Jacques and Callus because of a lack of confidence that Jacques himself would go through with it. This should prove the existence of the third person, right?
Is there anything else?
We still have not determined the exact content of the key information Callus has passed on to certain members of his organization. The old dog's a real menace to deal with. Even if he abides by the promise he's made to us, he will still have the upper hand. He can act whenever he wants to make our lives miserable. The only option left is to remove him from the picture entirely. I concur. Let's send someone to kill him. He won't declare war as long as we don't touch Navia. Oh, seems like we've got a bunch of correspondence between the higher-ups.
They planned this well in advance.
They're all just so evil.
I mean, in order for your plan to not fail and everything, you need to plan in advance anyways.
What's all this? Aw, it's a bunch of really cute things. Pink accessories, a hair tie, a necklace, even a makeup box.
There's a name too.
Oh, Paimon sees it too, but why are all these cute things labeled with different girls' names?
They probably belong to the victims.
You mean the girls from the serial disappearances? They were brought here?
This seems to be the base of operations.
They were turned into water. And all the boxes of things. These names. That means... Oh, this is terrible. We've looked at almost everything here, and it seems like our theories were spot on. But...
Who really is this Vache?
Yeah. We haven't found anything that reveals his true identity. No wonder even Neuvillette wasn't able to find anything. Whoever it is probably destroyed everything to do with that name a long time ago. That way, even if we bring all this back to the opera, we won't be able to identify the true culprit.
but maybe not clever enough. Let's look again.
Sure thing. Paimon won't admit defeat to this guy either. You take that side and Paimon will take this side. Check everything carefully. We'll find something for sure. Ugh. Nothing at all. And Paimon can't even find snacks either.
Paimon, I found it.
Oh, really? Let Paimon see. Vinier. Isn't that Vache's lover's name?
Yep.
Then you found her diary. Let's see. Aw. It's just a normal diary chronicling their love story. She was so sweet, too. Oh, Paimon feels even worse for her now.
Take a look at this page. She made a list of baby names.
So many! A whole page's worth! But they're all crossed out. Was she unhappy with all of them? The final name she decided on was... Marcel. Wait, but Marcel's pretty old. Has this case been going on for so long that he's Vache and Vinier's grown son?
I figured it out. Let's go, Paimon.
Hey! Paimon still hasn't figured it out yet.
After obtaining the final piece of key evidence, race back to the Opera Glass.
And whose image do you see, Marcel?